Hey, what up, America? And welcome to a Better Black America podcast, the number one urban podcast stateside and worldwide. Now, today is March 9th, 2022. Now, this is a grand distraction. This is a grand distraction that we're dealing with between Russia and Ukraine, and is the opportunity of a lifetime for the black race here in America. Now, Joe Biden has showed his hand, and he is clearly the worst president in United States modern history. You know, some may say that President Joe Biden has been used as a pawn for the New World Order, or the One Rule Order. Now, for me, until Biden says, and I see it come out of his mouth as the sitting president, may God bless these United States of America, he is the opposition to this dear nation. And I say this because I've been watching Joe Biden very closely. I watched him at the inauguration. I watched that Bible. It looked like a witchcraft Bible. And it's the same Bible that was being passed around during the George Floyd situations. And they started calling them witches and warlocks. I watched him. And when he was inaugurated, he has not one time been on record saying, may God bless these United States of America after a speech. Now, the last time on his State of the Union address, I was sitting there and he said, God bless you. I said, God bless you all. And God bless our troops. And then he walked off. Until he says, may God bless these United States of America, he is being used as a pawn, and he is not the president of the United States. He is the president of the United Allies. Now, we have too much to lose as a black race here in America and globally if we do not participate in politics fully. And when I say participate fully, meaning understand, look at all the data up until this point and realize that until we decide to come together as a race, as one cohesive unit, as a moral standard of people in this country, then we are pretty much a part of a genocidal situation when it comes to America. Because systematic racism is a systematic that's working automatically. So it's automatically, pulling our numbers down. We are less less babies are being born, less black nuclear family. Our children, we're not rearing them right. The science is working to a T. But now we have to realize that, we have to really pay attention, because like I said, we have too much to lose if we don't participate fully. Now, we was being blocked out of everything when it comes to race up until now, delayed but not denied. This is our moment in American history, and we have a plan when it comes to race in America, just for black people. And when I say that is because we have not been championed. We're stranded on second base. They say that cream always rise to the top. Cash rules everything around me. Cream get the money. The cream always rises to the top, especially during times of being still. It's kind of like we're watching the world go through its chaos, and we're looking at any and everything and all our resources being thrown into Ukraine, in which they're not going to win. Leonardo DiCaprio sent $15 million in aid to Ukraine. You might as well put that cash in a grinder, because they're not going to win. It's like a money laundering scheme. So now we, the black race, seems like, we've been boxed out. We don't participate. And it seems like we were frozen solid for 400 years, or pretty much well over that. The Willie Lynch letter, they said that was 1725, but it seemed like we've been frozen and now we're thawing out. So now that we're thawing out, our race is our grace, and we have to participate in politics fully. We saw the last election. We saw 4 years of progress coming from an 8 year of progress from Obama. And within 1 year, it's a clear indication that the Biden administration is being used as pawns and a catalyst to a bigger global thing. So we can no longer continue to be guilty by association. It seems like they convinced us to not vote for Lucifer, but vote for Satan. Somebody convinced us to vote for the lesser of the two evils when a moral person don't like evil less or more. And one of the political parties, and this is the issue, because what I'm saying is we're not going to just go be some Republicans. Racism is still real. Okay. There's 3 races on the planet: black, white, Mongolian. Asians, China, they good, hook, line, and sinker. But whites somehow feel like they need to be in opposition because there's a group of Caucasian or group of white people, liberals, that have issues with conservative whites. They want to replace our entire race by indoctrinating us into their fight. And this is where we win, because all things have purpose. So now we have to focus on race. We have to. There's no other choice. Because like I said, amending the 13th Amendment is the catalyst that can actually open our book of horizons. And I'm going on record right now. I have not heard, me personally. Now, if you have, send me the link. Let me know. Get me that information. I have not heard a politician, a presidential candidate, a congressman, a senator, city council, anybody in the world, in this nation, in the U.S., talking about the 13th Amendment and amending the 13th Amendment to have true equality. Nobody. Because that is the criminalization clause that keeps superior. Because as long as there's a criminalization clause, then it's profitable for crime, it's profitable for drugs, it's profitable for prostitution, it's profitable for human trafficking, it's profitable for murder, robbery, because the system eats. So if we take the profit out of the crimes, all we have to do is sit back and find ways to clean the money. Because I know without a shadow of a doubt, when you talk about generational wealth, a good man leaves his children's children an inheritance. Just imagine, the white children of slave masters. Just imagine the grandchildren and the great grandchildren of slave masters whose money is tied into the prison industrial complex right now. So you making your money off of slavery. Could you imagine having a conversation about changing that and basically washing that dirty money and making it clean money so you can legitimately be respected and not be a slave owner? I'm sure they'll have that conversation. But see, clearly dealing with the Democratic Party, they like to unplug stuff, not wean yourself off of it. I've never been a cigarette smoker, but I just imagine how it is to just stop smoking cigarettes after 10, 20 years, cold turkey. Now I can see, smoke one, or, you stop, you go from a pack a day to half a pack and you wean yourself off. But clearly you just can't unplug. You wonder why the gas price is so high? The Keystone Pipeline was unplugged. The Keystone Pipeline was unplugged. And if you are concerned about your gas prices right now, just you can't even fathom what's about to happen. The only way we can produce, do something about the gas prices that we produce our own. And since we don't and haven't been produced, it's going to take time. But if we do that, it's going to sound like Make America Great Again, because that was the catalyst. Former president talked about monopolies, about the dangers of gas monopolies. Now, Biden can't even call the United Emirates and the Saudis. He can't even call them. They're not even taking his calls. Like, you a fool. Because they know the power that they have. And he said it himself. The sanctions that they put on Russia, we're going to feel it here in the United States. Now, one thing that I really have an issue with is us really not being on the same sheet of music. I've seen people with their Divine Nine members, sororities and fraternities. I stand for Ukraine, but not one time have I seen any of you stand for your community. Not your frat, your community. And I know giving out backpacks and all, I'm talking about real cohesive change, because in the game of race, there's a gold, silver, and bronze, and we want that gold. But if we're dealing with secret societies that look like us, but they're not for us, that's the catalyst. So go ahead and stand for Ukraine. That's fine and all. But what about when those bullets and those shells start coming over here? Because we men know we're going to fight. So if we're going to fight to the death here in this nation, because we have too much to lose. We have over 400 years of equity, and clearly the last 3-4 years have been chaotic moments to get us to not focus on our moment in time, because everybody in the world know, the Democrats know, the Jewish people know, the globalists know that August 20th of the year 1619 or August 20th of the year 2019 was supposed to be a special day spiritually. But somehow there's been a catastrophic event after catastrophic event. So this is what I'm saying. We cannot fall for the Okie Doke. This issue between Ukraine and Russia has nothing to do with race. Both sides are Caucasian. Now, what's the issue? Now, we don't really know. But it appears that Russia and China oppose the one world, new world order. Now, since Biden is the president of the United Allies, now until he says out of his mouth, may God bless these United States of America, he is not for us and clearly against us. He is setting America up to fail. Believe what you see. Believe what you see. When he was running for president, he said that if you make under $400,000, you're not going to fill a pension, gas taxes. But right now here in California, Gavin Newsom is trying to eliminate the gas tax because everything is so high. Food is high, energy is high, inflation. And in California in July, they're going to go to here where I'm at, $15.96 minimum wage. Ooh, that's barely 2 gallons of gas here in California. So working for 2 gallons of gas is not worth it. Now, people are very angry and upset, and I mean very. Now, to see Trump videos predicting this during the campaign trail to a T, man, we fell for the Okie Doke. It's not flesh and blood, it's powers and principalities. Now, Zelensky, the president of Ukraine, he is trying to draw America into World War III, and it seems like he will do anything to protect the big lie and continue to promote white supremacy. That's what it's all about. Zelensky is on record reading Winston Churchill's speech back in the day. Yes, Winston Churchill, the former prime minister of the United Kingdom during World War II. That's very interesting to me. He's actually reading the same manuscript spoke by Churchill while deeply in the midst of World War II. So history is repeating itself. Zelensky is a comedian and he's white. So what's the issue between whites? What's the issue that's going on in Ukraine and Russia when you have China sitting right there making deals with both sides? So we are putting ourselves in a crazy situation. And if we don't understand that we are guilty by association as a race, as a group of people, and there's something that has to be done, and this is the answer and the reaction. It's white liberals versus white conservatives. Okay. Conservative don't mean Republican and liberal don't mean Democrat. It basically, from the biblical terms, Sadducees, Pharisees, one has no God and one has a God. One has a moral responsibility and the other doesn't. The other says, we need to separate church and state. And this is why we, as the black race, who are spiritually connected to the Most High, we know the truth, but for whatever reason, we was trained and frozen and very scared and afraid of doing anything. But right now is the